You can't tell the story of college sports without Vanderbilt. You could try, but it wouldn't be the full story, the true story. Because the truth is, Vanderbilt has always set the pace for college athletics in America. College basketball, the buzzer beaters, the upsets, the raucous student sections, March Madness, who started it all? That's right, Vanderbilt. In 1893, barely a year after James Naismith invented basketball, a group from Vanderbilt became the first college students in America to play an organized game, taking on a team from the Nashville Y. Just 3 years later, Vanderbilt was among the first universities to offer women the chance to hoop when Stella Vaughn organized, coached, and played on the school's first women's basketball team. Men weren't allowed to watch. The SEC. It just means more, right? The best athletic conference in America. Who's responsible for it? That would be William Dudley, Dean of the Vanderbilt Medical College, who in 1894 formed the nation's first athletic conference, the SIAA, which became the SEC in 1933, with Vanderbilt as a charter member. Baseball, America's pastime, no big league team is more synonymous with championships as the New York Yankees. But it wasn't until the mighty Yanks had a Vandy boy, Harvey Hendrick, on the team that they won their first World Series in 1923. College football in the South. A pretty big deal, right? The bands, the cheerleaders, the fans, the rivalries, the passion. It all started at Vanderbilt on October 14, 1922, when Dudley Field opened as the region's first college football stadium. 2 decades later, Vanderbilt University hosted the very first NFL game in the South in 1944, a wartime exhibition between the Packers and the Eagles. And speaking of the Packers, Titletown wasn't Titletown until Vince Lombardi arrived in 1959. And who was the first player he drafted as a new coach headed to 5 championships and 9 seasons in the 1960s? Tom Moore, a running back out of Vanderbilt. The 60s, a time of change in America, a time when charismatic figures in sports and politics became legendary, with Vanderbilt athletics playing an important role. Reverend James Lawson, architect of the 1960 Nashville lunch counter sit-ins, played intramural football as a divinity student at Vanderbilt. John F. Kennedy spoke at Dudley Field in 1963. Martin Luther King and Stokely Carmichael spoke at Memorial Gym in 1967. And Robert F. Kennedy came the following year. Otis Redding performed his final concert at the gym, and the first integrated state basketball tournament in Tennessee history took place there in 1966. 1966, in some ways the most important year in the history of American sports because of what took place at Vanderbilt. Perry Wallace joined the Commodore basketball team, going on to become the first black student athlete to play a full 4-year career in any sport in the SEC. All the black SEC legends who followed, from Dominique Wilkins to Anthony Davis, from Bo Jackson to Derrick Henry, from Shamiqua Holtzclaw to Asia Wilson, it all began with Perry at Vanderbilt in 1966. Women's sports. It took us a long time to get back here from Stella Vaughn in 1896, didn't it? Even before Title IX ushered in a new era in the 1970s, Vanderbilt women made their mark. 1938 Vanderbilt graduate Dinah Shore was a powerful advocate for women's golf and became the first non-player inducted into the LPGA Hall of Fame. In 1993, Vanderbilt's Nakia Davis became the first black golfer in SEC history. In 1997, Ryan Tolbert, the first Vanderbilt athlete to win a national championship. In 1999, former Commodore Carolyn Peck, the first black woman to coach an NCAA basketball team to a national title. In 2020, Sarah Fuller, the first woman to score a point in a Power 5 conference football game, and Candace Lee, the first woman and first black woman to become an athletic director in the SEC. And she came up under another trailblazer, David Williams, the first black AD in the conference. Vanderbilt's influence on athletics extends beyond the playing fields and into the way we think about sportsmanship. It was former Vanderbilt baseball player Grantland Rice, the most powerful voice in early 20th century sports writing, who famously wrote that it's not whether you win or lose that matters most, but how you play the game. And it was former Commodore All-American football player and Rhodes Scholar John Tigard, who went on to introduce the concept of the athletic scholarship while serving as the president of the University of Florida. Think of all the thousands of young men and women who have earned scholarships to play college athletics. Thanks, John. Whoa, that's a lot of sports history made on West End Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. It's like we said at the beginning, you can't tell the history of sports in America without Vanderbilt, and we're pretty good at academics too. Anchor down.